Well, I don't know what's going on with my internet. Anyway, I'm supposed to play the intro, but
No intro?
uh,
Vikings, let's win this game. Skull Vikings on the relay. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run out the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. Skull Vikings, let's go.
well, like we said, greatest Vikings finishes.
This was considered the greatest comeback. And I would have to agree because it was a playoff game and the way it went down. You know.
Not only that, but butt face Sean Payton.
Oh, and just the fact that Sean Payton looked like a little bitch after it was all done, that makes it even better. It couldn't have happened to a nicer person, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Saints fans absolutely killed that dude after the game. I mean, don't go. Vikings fans probably would have too, but you got to appreciate Stephon Diggs. I mean, he didn't go out of bounds because most receivers would have went out of bounds. He kept
Well,
running.
the fact that he had the awareness to stay in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that what's his name took out his own teammate.
Yeah. In case Keenum made the throw.
Made the throw. I mean, it was just, it's you wanted one highlight, and the way their season had went, you just couldn't have had it end the way it did if they had lost. That would have been one of the biggest downfalls. But the fact that it was the Saints, that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, I know people like to say that Keenum took them, farther in the playoffs than Cousins ever did, but it was still only one playoff win.
Right.
So.
Right. Keenum won as many playoff games, I think, as Kirk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just happened to be farther in the playoffs,
right?
Because it's divisional, as opposed to the,
right,
the wild card. But,
Yep. And I'm going to give Keenum credit. Keenum won the division, right?
Yeah, the Vikings won the division that year.
They won the division that year. Kirk never won the division, did he?
13-4 year.
13-4 year, which was a letdown because of the playoff game.
Because of the defense.
Yeah.
Gave Daniel Jones that paycheck.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it just was, and it was, for when that happened, it was just one of those things that, okay, maybe as Vikings, we can get some luck on our side. Maybe this can be our year. Then we go to Philadelphia and just shit the bed. So, back to being the Vikings. But that's probably the greatest comeback in team history. That's right up there with, now see, for me, that's number one. This one with the Colts. This is like NFL history.
I know it's a regular season.
I mean, this one here, the fact that we let them have 33 points in the first half, it shouldn't have even been that.
Yeah.
But I mean, so that's another one. I mean, it just
Yeah, this is the win probability one.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. This was what, 2 years ago? How many players on this team are left? The offensive lineman.
Just
right?
the offensive line.
Justin
Thielen's
Jefferson.
gone. Osborne's gone. Dalvin Cook is gone.
Yeah.
Ezra Cleveland is gone.
That was a sweet move by Justin Jefferson.
That was Gilmore covering him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Kirk
Oh,
Cousins.
God.
He never did anything with Flair. Wear that coat. That Thielen's gone.
Stealing. And see, there was
You know what? It goes back to the old saying: "There's no pressure on Kirk Cousins to play well, so he plays well."
well, and then we should not have been down by 33 points to a 4-win team.
Yeah. With Jeff Saturday as the head coach.
Right, with an interim head coach.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, and then this was probably the play.
Yeah, this was Dalvin's touchdown.
And you just like the way they came back against this team shows that they should have never been down by that much.
Yep.
You know?
Well, don't forget, we got to stop on these guys on a 4th and short, too.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Where did Cleveland get traded to? Jacksonville.
Yeah. Could you imagine being a Colts fan at that game, though?
Oh, God.
You're talking some mad shit.
Well, and plus, you're a 4-win team.
Yeah.
And you're winning by 33 points, and then you just blow the lead. You know.
So this was another one.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, did they get rid of Dalvin Cook a year too early? I think they should have went from Dalvin Cook to Aaron Jones because Madison.
Well, and Dalvin left out of here on bad terms.
Yeah.
Once again, he wasn't involved really in the plays. He wasn't involved in the offense enough. So, he complained about it.
I don't know. Greg Joseph's one. I don't know why people don't like Greg Joseph. Yeah, he didn't go out extra points, but he did win the Vikings some games, though.
Well, he's kicking outdoors now, so we'll see how well he does.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, that's right. I think the Colts got a flag here for delay of game.
He tried to get up and run the ball, give it to the official. Colts would not let him get off of the ground. We'll take that. Another 5 yards.
Like a drunk guy on prom night trying to get
you. Yeah.
Snap spot. Joseph, right-footed kick. It is good! And the Minnesota Vikings have completed the greatest comeback in the history of the National Football League.
So there's that. That wasn't a playoff game, but still.
No, that was a regular season game.
Yeah.
So that would be number 2. I'll tell you what, the Browns game in the 80s got to be right up there. The Hail Mary game. That's got to be right up there. Up until then, that was probably up until the Hail Mary. That was probably the greatest play in Vikings history.
Yeah, and it was a one-handed catch too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the greatest. But that's the one that everybody remembers, those of us that are old enough. Especially if you lived here in Minnesota. If you saw that game, the fact that, and they were losing at halftime, and it was just a shootout after it was just a shootout in the second half. T-Bass, it's above the Browns game because of the points we were down.
23 to 22 in
It's-
favor of Cleveland. 5 seconds left. 1
Is there video?
to 20.
Of course, there's video. It's YouTube. 1980, December 14th.
I was in 8th grade.
I was 5. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
23 to 22 in favor of Cleveland. 5 seconds left. First down, Cleveland 46.
Yeah, look at those old
3 wide
uniforms.
receivers right, Kramer back to pass. He's going deep down the right side, and it is fought for, and it's touchdown! Touchdown! Rashawn!
Right place, right time.
Yeah.
Any football game, anywhere, the Vikings go to the playoffs.
Yeah, they won the game and went to the playoffs. Yep. So that one right there, that was the greatest play in Viking history up until there's that one, and then there's Joe Cap's run in the playoffs.
I don't know why this is playing. Get off my screen. I have autoplay turned off. Where are you playing? Sorry, guys. I am doing it this way.
Yeah, Joe Cap's run in the playoffs was part of it. You still got this crap up here, Catch.
I'm trying to remove it. I gotta tell you, StreamYard is such a resource hog that it's hard. That's why when people do like videos and stuff,
Yeah.
they don't do like live stuff because
There's the Joe Cap, the comeback against the Rams in the playoffs, the San Francisco game in '77, Tommy Kramer's game.
yeah,
That was, and they were down 24-7 when Tommy came back.
my mom says I was being cute at 5.
Huh?
My mom says I was being cute at 5. Actually, I wasn't even 5 yet. I was 4 because that was in.
That was
December.
December.
I was 5. Yeah.
Yep, that was December. And then, God.
Well, there's like, I mean, there's.
Those are just off the top of my head that I can remember. Tommy Kramer was good for a lot of comebacks. That's one thing. If you watching Tommy Kramer, watching that Viking team, you were never out of a game as long as Tommy Kramer was quarterback. I mean, he had comeback wins damn near every week during his time with the Vikings. The one I remember the most, of course, is 77. Fran had one in 78 against Philadelphia. Tommy had like 3 in 79. He had the Browns game in 80, the Chargers game in 81, Cowboy game in 82, the Monday night game, Dorsett's 99-yard run, and the playoff game. We were losing in the playoff game. God, there's been so many comebacks. Wade Wilson had one in 87.
That defense of the Bears is sitting over there waiting. They've just been comfortably sitting there for 6 minutes.
Oh,
2nd and 6.
oh, this is the Chris Carter one.
Yeah. The fact that Chris Carter outran somebody.
He outran like the whole. He outran everybody. Chris was not the fastest guy. Yeah, Butler missed a field goal.
Yeah.
Butler missed a field goal, and that's what did him in.
I'm sorry, that lineman for the Bears, I remember him, the big cat Williams, number 71. That was a big dude.
Yeah, that was a Thursday night game. There was that one, and then T-Bass, that Philadelphia game, Fran got his teeth knocked out against the Lions. I was actually at that game. He took a hit, and next thing you know, he's being helped off the field just before halftime. But yeah, he took a vicious shot from Dave Purefoy of the Lions. But yeah, that was
awesome.
That was against the Lions, which I think was a month earlier, and that was in November, and the Philadelphia game was in December, and of course we had a snowstorm. So.
You knew that there was a
Also, you know what though? You gotta remember this. We played the Bears in '92, Denny's first year, and the Bears had that 21-0 lead or 20-0 lead. And at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Harbaugh audibles and throws the interception to pick six to Todd Scott. That started a big comeback. The Vikings won that game, but that got the Vikings rolling, and that was basically the end of the Ditka era Bears. That game was basically the end of it because the Bears went on a really bad losing streak after that, and I think it had a lot to do with because Ditka blew up at Harbaugh on the sideline after the pick six. I mean, literally blew up at him. Can you find that game? Bears at Vikings, 1992. And there should be, because him blowing up at Harbaugh is probably that was the downfall. That was finally the final straw for the Bears. But that's another one too. We were down 20-0 in that game, and put up 21 fourth quarter points and won it.
See if I can find highlights. They aren't too long.
I got lucky because somebody's been posting a lot of old football games, so I found a couple of old Viking games. Oh, we forgot one. The game in Philadelphia in '85. That was another comeback. That was the Wade Wilson game. We were losing 23-0 at halftime, and came back and won it in Philly.
Yeah, trying to find that one. It's hard to find individual highlights from a game like that. It's usually the whole game. So, let me see.
No, that was T-Bass. The Randy Moss Moon was in the playoff game, and we had a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, it was 38.
That's why he did it.
17, I think the final of that game was.
Yep, that's why he did it. And of course, we had a lot of games where he kicked like game-winning field goals and stuff like that. But as far as like touchdowns and all that, those are There's a few of them in Viking history.
See, you said that was Bears at Vikings, right?
Yeah, 92. Yep.
Trying to find it. I know there was a lot of them.
What did you put in?
Okay.
This is it. I think this is the play. Yep, that's it.
Todd Scott with that walk.
That's the one. Yep, and Harbaugh went off. Well, Harbaugh audibled, and he shouldn't have audibled.
Yeah.
Yeah, he audibled.
Look at this whole video.
Mm-hmm.
16, that's Gannon then, right?
Yeah, that's Gannon. It's Rich Gannon. Yep, that's Rich Gannon.
He was on Sirius XM today. And he was
Who's that?
Rich Gannon.
Oh, was he?
And they were talking about
That's Roger Craig.
Never missed the playoffs the whole time his whole career. Made the playoffs every year.
Yep, sure did.
God, look at Rich. Oh, look at that. Look at that mobile quarterback.
That was Gannon. That was Gannon's thing. He could run the ball.
Yeah.
He still had Terry Allen.
Terry Allen.
Yeah.
He's just like, make it stop.
Yeah, he was too. He was. That was it. That was it for him. They went downhill after that real quick. And Gannon had terrible numbers passing. Terrible numbers that game.
20-25.
Yeah. 1 TD and 2 interceptions.
Well, back then, I mean.
Well, that's what, 92? It was still a
Yeah.
running league. It was still a running league. But yeah, that was a downfall of Mike Ditka. That was the end of the Mike Ditka regime.
Yeah.
And then we had that 93 Jim McMahon, he had that Eric Gulliford's only catch as a NFL football player. And he against Green Bay, and it led to a game-winning field goal.
This is one play that I remember as a kid, if I can get to it.
Which one is that?
You'll see.
Hey, what's up, Darian?
But yeah, that Bears game, I think that was the end of the road. Because they never recovered from that. Didn't they go like on a major losing streak after that?
What's that?
So didn't they go on a major losing streak after that game?
The Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then we played 2 or 3 weeks later, and we beat them on Monday Night Football 38-10. So that was basically that was it.
The Vikings are down to their final timeout. Now they have one remaining. Setting up at the 7-yard line. On fourth down, they fake it to Walker and loft it into the end zone. And 5.
Which game are you looking at?
They now take a timeout with 4:22 remaining. The Vikings are down to their final timeout. Now they have one remaining. Setting up at the
Christmas night.
Yeah. Wasn't that like his only catch? of the year. Novoselic.
Yeah. He was a special teamer. Yep, he was a special teamer.
He has not had a whole lot of practice doing so. It usually is in there quickly to block. Here's the play action, a little bit of it.
Yeah, so basically, the Vikings win this game. How did he catch that?
Yeah.
How
That
did he
was-
catch
Whoever won this game was in the playoffs, and whoever lost it was out.
We went to the playoffs. The Steelers went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
Cincinnati and Green Bay got bounced.
yeah, which made it even sweeter.
Which,
And
yeah.
the thing that made it funny at the time was they had a live camera in the Steelers' house and a Packers' house,
Oh, yeah.
and I remember that.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Watching
Yeah.
that.
And what's his name was the Golden Boy, Don Mikowski.
Yeah,
And he was sitting there with the offensive line. And they were pissed.
yeah,
Oh my God, they were pissed. I mean, we had a comeback. Sean Salisbury led a comeback in '93 against the Broncos. We were losing early in that game, like 24-0, and we came from behind. We came from behind and won it.
Farm out of the shotgun, Chester to his right. Third down, 12 seconds to go in the game. Niners lead by 4. Farm back to Peck.
why are you not going on stage?
Receivers left and right. Farm out of the shotgun, Chester to his right. Third down, 12 seconds to go in the game. Niners.
Oh no! Oh 9.
Pumps to the left, 8 seconds left. He gets away from the
I just hate those uniforms.
Yeah, Greg Lewis is pretty much his only catch for the
His
Vikings.
only catch. Yep,
Yeah,
his only catch.
those were the ugliest uniforms the Vikings have ever had.
Oh, those were just god awful ugly. God awful ugly. I ain't gonna lie. I was standing there watching this. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
I remember I didn't have the radio call. I had the TV call, and Sam Rosen was the Rangers play-by-play guy, but he did NFL games.
He called the TV game. He called the TV.
Right. And
Yeah, he was on the TV call.
this is the TV. This is a Paul Allen's call compared to so listen to I know Paul Allen's the radio host. He does that, but let me go. I forgot Mike Singletary was the coach of the Bears.
Yeah, Singletary was a head coach. Yep, Singletary was a head coach. Got to go back farther.
Yeah. I think this is it. But I think,
Yeah, this is Sam Rosen making the call.
yeah, listen to his. I mean, where would you put this for excitement level?
Oh, it's right up there. It's right up there with
His call. See, I don't think the call matches what happened.
well, he's on TV too. And he's on TV and he's the network guy, so he's got to be a little more subdued. Whereas Paul works for the Vikings.
Yeah, but think of the first one we played, with Stephon Diggs. That
That was Buck. That was Joe Buck. He's a little more. Some are a little more animated than most. You've
I
got
do like that. That is right. That was That was a Brett Favre throw.
That was a Brett Favre throw.
That's a Brett Favre throw right there.
Yeah, that was a Brett Favre throw. Those are the type of throws that Brett used to make on us. They used to break our backs.
Yeah.
It was weird him doing it for us.
Especially the run of quarterbacks that the Vikings had before they got Favre.
Yeah.
They would never have made that throw.
No.
None of those guys would have made that throw.
No, and I'll tell you what, Brett was was close to 40 or was 40.
I think he was 40 because I think he was 41 when we retired next year.
Yeah, and he had the arm strength. He still had the arm strength to get the ball there. I don't think we had a quarterback who had that sort of arm strength.
Yeah,
Jerry Rice I don't know.
Jerry Rice that catch against the Jets.
Against the Jets, yeah. He outran the whole damn defense.
The Bernard Berrian catch, the 99-yard touchdown against the Bears, wasn't a game winner. But.
Yeah, that was right after the goal line stand. I mean, once the goal line stand was already disheartening, but then to complete a 99-yard pass, you could just see the Bears just fall apart. You know, you can see the momentum just leave the sideline. But I mean, like with announcers, like the Viking announcers, I remember when for Ahmad Rashad's Hail Mary catch, that was Charlie Jones, and he was pretty animated. He was pretty animated when Ahmad caught the pass. But of course, the one we played was Ray Scott, who called the Packers for years, and former Viking Grady Alderman. The one that yelled the loudest was Grady Alderman in that play, on that call. I mean, but Paul Allen, he kind of, and that's why people like him. He brings the excitement. He works for the Vikings, and you know it. But he's good for those, for the highlight reel calls and stuff like that. I'm not the biggest Paul Allen guy at all. The one that was the best, though, Joe McConnell, growing up listening to him. I mean, put it this way, he could make a Chuck Foreman screen pass look like a 5-yard gain sound like a 50-yard run.
We got to make it hurt, guys.
Oh, this one.
He's our coach now.
Who?
The quarterback for the Cardinals.
Oh. Yeah, and the dude got a ticker tape parade in Green Bay for catching a pass.
His biggest catch of his life.
Yeah, the biggest catch of his career. Oh yeah, Joseph missed that field goal.
Yeah,
against the Cardinals. Yeah, that's right. Allen thought he made it. Paul Allen thought he made it. That was the funny part. And then you hear
for Pete versus
hey, it was no good. He missed it. But I mean, yeah, Paul is. You can tell he's definitely for the Vikings. Joe McConnell had the same energy. I'll tell you what, on that blocked field goal in that championship game, if you hear the radio call, that was Joe McConnell to a T. He just would turn. He just could make calls like that, and some announcers are like that, I mean, I do remember T-Bass had a comment earlier. We didn't have to have too many of them in the 70s. We didn't have too many of them in the 70s with the Purple People Eaters. We had a comeback in 70 against the Lions. We had a comeback in 74 against the Cowboys we beat them on a last-second field goal that Fred Cox barely made. I mean, when I say barely, he barely made. But yeah, we never really had the one biggest comeback was, as I said, Joe Cap in the playoff game. Hey JJ, what's up? was Joe Cap in the 69 playoff game against the Rams. That was we were losing 17-7 at halftime. And that was you talk to the older guys, you could kind of second half rolled up, they felt you could feel the momentum change. And it was outdoors too, and they said it was loud. For an outdoor game, that was loud. So there's I think I never saw too many Vikings on the other end, except for I saw the 72 one where the Vikings had the lead and against the Niners last game of the year, and Brody came in and won it for them. That actually got the 49ers in the playoffs. Of course, the Hail Mary. The Hail Mary, right, is probably the one play that is etched in my memory because that was our year.
Yeah.
Yes, Norpheus censored the Ted Brown lateral before the Hail Mary. That set up the Hail Mary. I don't know if they had worked on that or not. I think it might have been a kind of a heads up play that censor pitched it. They talked about it. I forget what they said, but I don't know if it was drawn up that way. But yeah, that's the play that set it up. And then we had yep, I remember that. The number 20 was Mo Williams against Denver. End of the first half. Randy catches a pass, literally throws it, laterals it behind him over his shoulder to Mo Williams, who was cutting across. And I don't know who was covering Mo Williams, but he was free to run across, and he caught the lateral. Randy must have sensed he was there out of the corner of his eye. And I do remember that play. I'm trying to think. Dante had a couple of comebacks, didn't he?
What's that?
Dante had a couple of comebacks. Oh,
yeah.
His first game against the Bears, he had a comeback. That was a comeback because the Bears were beating us pretty soundly. It's always the Bears. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Jeff George had one in 99 in Denver because for some reason on 4th and 36, they decided to let Leroy Horde run for 40-plus yards.
This is the only highlight I could find.
Oh, this is the highlight of the curse game. This was overtime, and we won the game, but you never know it by the reaction of Jerry Burns.
They're thinking Mike Merriweather thought that the game wasn't over because the Rams were going to get the ball back for it because it went
right. He didn't realize it.
They realized that they actually considered it a recovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of a bad. I mean, Al Nogo was the one that let him know.
Well, it rolled out of the end zone, so
yeah,
that ended it. And then, of course, what's his name just decides to have a coronary in the locker room. God, hate to hear him if we had won by a lot.
Yeah.
But that was that one. Paul Krause with the fake field goal against the Bears in overtime and beat them. That was weird because it was a Bud Grant team. Bud Grant's teams were very vanilla. So if they did a trick play, it shocked the hell out of you because they just did not do it.
Yeah.
And the fact that they ran a fake field goal, that was one thing, but then they scored on it, that was another. So there's that one. There's God, so many.
Good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad. Didn't we give up a lead? Well, yeah, we gave it up to Denver. We had the lead in Denver last year and gave it up.
Yeah.
I think we had a couple of leads a year before. Oh, we can't forget the Buffalo game. We can't forget we should have lost that game. We should have lost the Buffalo game in 22. But the fact that we won it, it's kind of like, we had the luck of the draw.
It's another one that we should have lost.
Yeah, this one should have been a loss too. The funny thing was, of all the times, as much as Sean Payton and Zimmer played each other, Zimmer literally outcoached him in this game. He literally, especially on the defensive side of the ball, when he moved Hunter and Everson inside for the pass rush, you would think they would have some sort of answer for it, and they didn't.
I don't see a push-off.
I don't either. Also, you know what the Saints didn't do? They didn't run the ball this game.
No.
They did not run the ball. I didn't understand their offensive philosophy this game. They just did not. It's almost like he gave the game to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened? 26 looked like he slipped. Going for the ball. Yeah, it's like his leg kind of gave out.
I mean, if that's push-off, then there's a lot of catches in the NFL that should be considered push-off. There's a lot more egregious push-offs than that.
Yeah.
But you would think.
That one you're talking about, T-Bass.
I love beating butthole face so much.
That T-Bass, that Packer game you're talking about, the Monday Nighter, Chris Dishman thought he had an interception. Antonio Freeman was on the ground. When the ball fell right to him, he's on the ground, and Dishman didn't touch him. He got up and ran for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was just – and here's now – just before the end of regulation, Minnesota tried a fake field goal, and it didn't work. So go figure. So that was Antonio Freeman, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Antonio Freeman. But yeah, it's and then Favre came back on us. Yeah, this is it. I can't believe we're watching this.
Let me put it back. Go back all the way to the beginning. Jeez. There we go.
And once again, Favre just threw it up there. He just threw it up there.
And you're just like, God, I hate this so much with it being the Packers. God. Look at Mike Sherman. Hey, I got one. Hey.
Yeah.
Can they rehire Sherman as their head coach, please?
No, they fired Sherman.
I know. Can they rehire him?
He's the only reason he had that job was because he had Favre. I mean, but he was so bad in 05, they fired him and brought in McCarthy.
Yeah.
So.
Which they could probably rehire him too.
But yeah, I mean, it's those are only the ones that I've seen that I can think of.
Now we're getting ready to see an old video here, buddy.
Oh yeah, and this is one. This will probably be the one where Joe McConnell's got the call. This will probably be Joe McConnell's call.
Try for the field goal.
Yeah, this is Joe McConnell.
Welcome to the Ring of Honor, buddy.
Yep, Bobby Bryant. Yep. Bobby Bryant. Bobby Bryant always had big plays. Always had big plays. He was just that player.
Watch the reaction.
I don't know. It's still.
I saw that when it happened.
We shouldn't be taken down because we're talking over the video. They're not playing any video. We're talking over this. It's fair use, so we shouldn't be taken down anywhere. We're not playing the clips in their entirety, and we're talking over it. So
T-Bass is saying everybody to go over to your stream. Yogi's channel isn't working.
I guess my channel is so small they don't care. No, we're not. Yeah, we're playing highlights, but we're not. I mean, we're not showing the full highlight.
No.
We're showing like 15 seconds of it, and we're talking about over the rest of it.
Yeah, we're not. I mean,
so I don't know why that would happen.
You know how they had to get super sensitive about certain crap like that. You know. But yeah, we've had a ton of comebacks. You know, we had a bunch of games, go against us too. So
went down too. Yeah, I don't know the George, but so
I think your channel is down too.
Okay, we got. Well, someone's back up because we have a viewer.
Okay.
So, I guess that's enough highlights.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We're not not playing with the full game. We're not playing the full untouched video. You know. Well, we got 2 viewers. So there's 2 viewers on my channel.
Yeah, I think everybody went to yours.
I went back down to 0.
Is YouTube trying to tell us something?
I don't know. Because it's supposed to be fair use, right? As long as you don't show the whole video.
Yeah.
Right? And if you talk over it.
Yeah, and it's.
Well, I guess you go to Friday night show then.
Every time I turn around,
okay, I'm back up. What channel's back up, Yogi or mine, T-Bass?
Looks like yours.
Well, I guess that's it for highlights, people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we ended it on Bobby Bryant.
Exactly.
It's, like I said, I've read the rules for YouTube. It says as long as you don't play full videos, you talk over them or you pause them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're just kind of like nitpicking, and they do that.
Yeah, I got. Well, yeah, Yogi's channel is big enough for him to actually get get donations and stuff like that. But mine is not even. Mine's tiny.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But,
so yeah, I mean it's. A ton of comebacks, good ones, bad ones. So-and-so ones. T-Bass, I did see that. I'm
not going to show it.
I did see that. Yeah, we're not. Well, we can't show it, but yeah. Basically, Ahmad was in the flume ride. He had to catch the pass in the flume. So
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, this was an idea I had. I got into the YouTube wormhole about a week ago, and I texted Tony, but I think Tony wasn't feeling. He never responded until the week after. Um, I'm like, you know what? We have not done this show yet. We haven't talked about the greatest finishes, good or bad, for the Vikings game. So I said, let's do that. And I'm like, we can play highlights as long as we talk over them and don't play
Yeah.
something, pause them, and do whatever. Then we can go ahead and play them, but I guess not. So
but YouTube's being
I appreciate that, T-Bass.
that's just YouTube. But yeah, I mean, so okay. In your estimation, what is the greatest comeback? No, okay, let's do this. Greatest comeback, not including the Minneapolis Miracle.
I'm going to say the one that I played because it meant so much to me as a young kid was the Cincinnati Minnesota game.
The Monday Nighter?
Yeah, because what it means to me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom let me stay up late to watch it because it was Christmas, and back then I didn't get to watch the Vikings much.
Right, because you were an hour ahead. Yeah,
we were living in Florida, so I didn't get a chance to watch the Vikings much. And that play, and just how I remember that play, it's like it didn't matter what Christmas gifts I had underneath the tree that year, which was still a great Christmas, but
right,
it didn't matter what gifts I had underneath the tree. The Vikings won that game and got into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Was the best gift I could. So it may not be as important as other comebacks, but to me, it what it meant. It staked that game. Actually, probably staked my Vikinghood. The '87 run, and then that would probably stake my Vikinghood.
Yeah,
because then I was kind of like, the Vikings and the Dolphins. I was going back and forth between the two, but that play kind of that play in the '87 year kind of is what made me a full Vikings fan as opposed to being a Viking. I still like the Dolphins, but I have to. That's where I'm from. So so.
For me, it'll probably be Ahmad Rashad's Hail Mary.
Yeah,
I think because that literally put us in the division. It put us in the playoffs. It was at the Met. I was 14 in 8th grade.
And they only played one more year at the Vet after that.
Yeah, 81 was the last year. Yeah, 81 was it. And then, oh, hell, we forgot about the comeback they had against the Cowboys on Monday night in 82.
Well, I had more lined up. Yeah. I was going to show the push off, unfortunately. Yeah,
we forgot.
Or as Bob says, the trip.
The trip.
He fell down.
He collapsed. He collapsed.
But we have a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to be on Friday night again, obviously.
We'll be on this Friday night, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be pretty much talk about anything you want. We will hit on Viking stuff, of course.
We have a game, folks. Round 8.
Yep.
It's the Hall of Fame game, Houston and Chicago. And we get our first look at the new kickoff rule.
Yep.
Which is the biggest crock of BS I've ever seen.
Well, no. Did you see the new what they had to do for onside kick?
Yeah, they got to tell them. They only do it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you do it in the fourth quarter only if you're behind, and you have to tell the team you have to tell the other team.
Yeah.
You're doing it. I mean,
yeah. So you're the head coach. You got to tell the other head coach we're onside kicking it. Really?
Think about the onside kick that the Colts and the Bears did, and the Saints.
Exactly in the Super Bowl
against
that
won the game for the Saints.
It did.
Yeah, because Hank Basket dropped it.
Yep. And where did he end up a year later? In Minnesota.
And he's more famous for his wife than he is anything else.
Well, he's famous for his wife, and he's more famous for why they divorced.
Yeah.
That, and if anybody's curious as to why they divorced, look up Hank Baskett and the Kendra Wilkinson.
I will do my best to. Okay. The only reason I was late tonight was because my wife let the dogs out. Our fence is broken. We have to watch them as opposed to just let them out.
It's always the wife, folks.
Yeah, I had to watch them. Friday night, I'm going to make sure that we start at 10:40 like we're supposed to.
So I'll keep up tradition and be late.
Yeah. Yeah, T-Bass, the NFL is becoming a joke.
It is fast.
Now, is it true that those funky ass white things they wear during practice, they can wear those during games now?
They've got some made that are for the game.
Do they have the team's logo and all that?
They got the logo on it and everything. You know what they're going to look like? Remember the Flintstones? Remember Gazoo?
Yeah.
That's what they'll look like without the antenna.
They look like a bobblehead because those things make their heads
They
look
will,
so big.
dude. It'll be a bunch of 300-pound Gazoos running out there with those helmets, and it's going to be mostly the offensive linemen. Yeah, they've already it's so bad. It is so bad.
I mean, what's wrong with what Mark Kelso used to wear?
That's what I was thinking. Steve Wallace did it too.
Yeah. For
Willie
those of you
Lanier
don't
did
know, for those of you who don't know, Mark Kelso wore a helmet, but he also had an extra shell.
Yeah.
On top of the helmet.
Yep.
And it looked just like the regular helmet. It was just an extra shell.
Mm-hmm.
Not this stuff they wear. Oh my god. Not the stuff they wear now.
It's bad. I swear, you know what they're going to look like? I'm telling you right now, the first thing out of your mouth is going to be they look like Gazoo without the antennas. That's what.
I wonder how long it's going to last, though. Because players today, they care more about image than anything else.
Well, here's the thing:
when they see themselves in them stupid ass, the helmets today don't need that extra layer of protection.
No, they're full of. They've got the ventilation holes and everything. You don't need all that.
Concussions are way, way down.
Yeah.
There's only three or four a year now in the NFL.
Yeah.
Granted, at one time there was probably 3 or 4 a game. But now there's only. But that's partially the player's fault for not wearing the helmet properly. They wear the helmet loose. You're going to get.
And players aren't taking the hits that they used to take. Matter of fact, players aren't getting hit at all.
Right. But how many times when you play, Tony? How many times did the helmet come off? And most of the time, the helmet came off because either face mask was stuck together with another face mask, and they took it off, or it was ripped off. It never just came off.
Yeah, first of all, if you're on the line, your helmet's coming off once or twice a game. If you're going at it with somebody's they're going to grab your face mask and not get called for it. So yeah, I mean, if you're on the line, yeah, you lost your helmet once or twice a game, but everybody else, no, it's usually a hit or something. But these guys don't hit nowadays, But the NFL is all about not getting sued, and making sure their marquee players are there for basically now it's for money making. They don't want anybody to get hurt, especially the big name players, because of the money that's involved with TV and everything. That's the problem. What's his name? Mike Florio brought this up. What the NFL is going to do, because they're slowly doing this. They want to go to 18 games. Then before you know it, they're going to go to 19 games. Before you know that, they're going to go to 20 games. What's going to happen is you're going to have all these rules set in place. It's not even going to be the same football we watched years ago. What that does is open it up for another league to come in, compete with them in the fall, and roll their rules back to the 80s or 90s. And it's easy to do. You get the players to sign waivers. They sign contracts. once a player signs that contract about no suits or anything like that after their playing days, you pay them.
Now, doesn't CFL play 18 games?
Yeah, but they've only got 9 teams.
So
They play 18 games. They only have 9 teams. They've played 18 games for years.
right,
They were playing 18.
twice. Right?
They were playing
Well,
18 when the NFL was playing 14 regular
Yeah.
season games. But then with the NFL would play 6 preseason games, 14 regular season.
Right. So it's always been 20.
It's always been 20.
Just how they got to that 20.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think eventually there's probably going to be 20 regular season games. There's going to be no preseason. It's just going to be scrimmages between 2 teams.
Well,
And-
teams are doing that now anyway. They have these inter
Right.
squad scrimmages, you know.
But if they're going to do 20 game seasons, there's got to be more than one bye, and you got to expand the rosters. That's the only way you're
That's the
gonna
only
get
way you
players-
can do it.
That's the only way you're going to get the players to agree to it.
Yeah, that's the only way you can do it. But then again, are the players going to do it?
Well, a player from the Rams, I can't remember who said it, but he's like, if you go to 18 games or 19 games, whatever, you have two bye weeks.
Mhm.
Everybody has their own bye week like they do now, and then you have a universal bye week like at week 15 or 16.
I think you do that in the middle of the season.
And that's when you do the Pro Bowl. You know, because everybody knows the Pro Bowl ain't the Pro Bowl. It's just a skills competition now.
Here's the thing.
And
Don't even play the damn Pro Bowl.
well, the reason why he said have the Pro Bowl is so because players still get bonuses for making the Pro Bowl, unless they
You
take
shouldn't
out,
get shit.
unless they
Here's
take
the
out
thing.
the bonus. No one watches the Pro Bowl.
No. Well, and that was the first football game to really be tagged.
Yeah,
Because they did hit in the Pro Bowl. These players at one time did take it seriously. I'll say
when
since
it moved from Hawaii is when they stopped taking it seriously.
they stopped taking it seriously like 2 years before they left Hawaii.
Yeah,
They stopped taking it when Goodell took over.
yeah.
When
Because
Goodell
remember
took
Adrian Peterson's first Pro Bowl? They were like, "Why is he running so hard? It's a Pro Bowl."
Yeah, they did say that.
It's Adrian Peterson. He always runs
Yeah,
hard.
he always runs hard. They were like, I don't want to tackle him a regular
That dude would play
season.
hard. That dude would run hard playing against the game against his sons in the school.
I mean, this is like, dudes was like, I'm in the Pro Bowl. I'm on vacation. I don't want to have to hit this motherfucker, but I'm going to have to.
Yeah,
But yeah, and that's they're going to have to work something out. But here's the thing: the players need to push back a little on the owners because right now the owners are getting everything.
the only two quote unquote all-star games that are worth watching is the baseball because the game doesn't really change at all,
No,
and the hockey. Because
Yeah.
that's it. The basketball game has become a farce. Like 200 points in a game. Come on, give me a break.
yeah, it's not worth it. It's just it's like they're the all-stars, but they're lazy.
Yeah, they don't play defense.
They don't play defense. Hell, they don't play defense during the regular
That's
season.
the thing about basketball is play defense. It's not skill. It's effort. Defense is effort.
Here's the difference. The NBA, the players don't play defense. The NFL, the players can't play defense because of the rules.
Right.
So there is a big difference.
I'm just glad hockey hasn't got rid of body checking yet. They got rid of fighting's pretty much gone. But at least you could still body check.
Bring back the fights, my God.
Well,
I mean,
that's what happens when you have Canadian interference.
they've made sports. They took away what made sports sports. It's
I
so
think-
entertainment now until it's to the
Yeah.
point of nauseating.
Yeah.
It's just nauseating.
So, do you guys want to give us ideas for next week's show? We could do that.
Still taking ideas big time.
Still taking ideas. As the season goes on, there'll be stuff that happens in games that we could talk about. Hey, this happened in 1977 as well.
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. The Friday night show, I think that's pretty much going to be almost during the season that we do it every week.
We'll pick up once the season starts. It'll probably be every Friday.
Yeah.
That's just a free for all.
Yeah. But we're actually gonna have football to talk about. And then we're gonna talk about what's going on in training camp, how good JJ's looking.
Well, I'll put it this way: I give you one little tidbit from camp. Garrett Bradbury is in mid-season form because now Harrison Phillips is pushing him around.
Yeah. So
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So I mean, we got stuff that we have to talk about. We're also we have an event coming up in Minneapolis. We'll talk more about that as well. We've already got it set. I'm actually gonna be in Minneapolis to see a game this year. I'm actually going to this thing we have coming up. I'll let SK and Rap and all them talk about it more. They may have tonight. I'm not sure. Friday night, I think they have a show where they're going to talk about it. But yeah, Tony, they told me to tell you to come too. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So if you have any memorabilia or anything like that, I thought maybe to win some. They said they do raffle tickets, but I think we should have a special prize: Vikings trivia. You and somebody else. We answer Viking trivia questions and see how many they can get, or how they could, how they compare to you.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Maybe like a.
Well, we know that leaves Zoe out, but
maybe that'll be tickets to the game or something like that. I'll talk more to SK and all them about that. See what they say, but we have it planned. And like I said, I'm going to be there for the 49ers game.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll definitely talk Friday night about. It's going to be a free for all. So yeah, it'll be my first Vikings game since. Hell, I don't know when we went. We played the Lions. It was in the Metrodome, so it was a while ago.
Oh my God, that's been. They tore the dome down in 2013.
Yeah, I've never been to a Vikings game in the new stadium. I've never done the skull chant. I've never done any of that.
Don't feel bad. I've only been to a preseason game.
Yeah. So I thought my mom might know what year it was. But
who was the quarterback?
I do not remember. I know the Lions were not very good, and
that's been a lot of years.
Nate Burleson, I think.
Was Burleson with the Lions?
No, Nate Burleson was with us still.
That had to be either Dante, Gus Farratt.
And Moss was still on the team because they threw a deep pass to the end zone to Moss, but it was incomplete. So
it might have been Gus Farratt.
And then the fullback from the Lions scored a touchdown. He spiked the ball, and the ball went into the stands like 2 rows in front of him.
Corey Schlesinger, yep.
Yeah. So it was that time period. That was the last Viking games I've been to.
That wasn't a game where Brian Williams had 3 interceptions, one for a touchdown.
I remember there was an intercept. Though it was a close game, and the Vikings made an interception late in the fourth quarter to win. That's what I remember.
That sounds like
because I did my 2.5-inch vertical jump when that interception happened.
That sounds like
yeah, the high. If this might help you as well, the high that day was 0. I don't think that's too much help.
Oh shit. Okay.
And it was clear, and it snowed like the.
Usually when it's clear, it's
it snowed
like the bell and cold as hell.
And it snowed like the Dickens the night before.
Okay, yeah, that was 04? 03?
So that's how long it's. I know it was before I met my wife. I married my wife in 08, so it was definitely before that.
They weren't wearing the high school uniforms, were they?
I do not remember. No, it wasn't the 90s, Mom.
I think it was probably Childress
It was
wasn't head
definitely
coach.
early. It was definitely the early 2000s, somewhere around there.
Was Mike Tyson head coach?
I don't remember.
Well, you are no help, Catch.
I'm trying to remember. I know it was that. So we went to the Lions game because the the travel agency that was offering the travel package, the Lions
Yep.
were cheap. The Lions were the cheapest game that year because the Lions were awful.
The Lions were always cheap.
So, I think
That was, you know what? That was 03.
I think Harrington might have been the quarterback for the Lions.
Joey Harrington, 03. That was 03.
So 22 years ago? It was the last time I was at a Vikings game.
21 years ago, yeah. Yeah, 21 years ago.
So, God, the Metro dump was oh my God, that place was such a dump.
Yep. 21 years ago at the old Metrodome.
It had to be because Dodge Intrepids were really popular that year. I think.
03.
Because there was like 4 or 5 Dodge Intrepids in front of the Metrodome.
I was one of those that had to have a Dodge Intrepid because
Yeah.
everybody had them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 03.
Yeah, so that's how long it's been. We stayed at the Holiday Inn Express right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You
over on the
They had to pay for the parking. They had their own parking lot, but you had to pay for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's completely different. That's
Is it still Holiday Inn Express or is it a different hotel?
no, it's somebody else.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I think they might have. I'm trying to think what is over there. But
But you know where we stayed that day.
yeah,
Well, I think it was by now. We were walking distance to Nicolette.
yeah, it's right over there off of right over there by the gas station, right off the
And that-
highway.
So that's how close we were to the stadium.
Yeah, I know exactly where you were.
And then there's a restaurant that I walked by. We didn't go into it.
Maxwell's.
No, it had like newspapers or whatever.
Oh, Spaghetti Factory.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the picture. So,
It might have been Noodles and Company or something like
but
that.
no, it looked like there was like newspapers on the walls and everything.
Yeah, that sounds like Noodles and Company. Old Spaghetti Factory is what I think it is.
Yeah. Still
Yeah,
there.
I haven't been over there in so long. I don't know what's over there anymore.
And of course, we went to the Mall of America. We ate at the Rainforest Cafe in the Mall of America.
That's still there.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that's still there. A lot of the stores are gone, but that's still there.
The 4th floor still got the movie theaters on it.
Movie theaters are gone.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, movie theaters are gone. So yeah, we'll be on Friday.
I have a buddy of mine who lives in Minnesota. I have to re-talk to him. He said I could stay with him.
Mhm.
But so if I could stay with him, that'd be cool. So I wouldn't
Where does he live?
He says he can see the stadium from his apartments. He lives in a high rise, but he said he can see the stadium.
Oh, he's somewhere around here then. He's downtown.
I don't know if he's downtown, but he said he can see the stadium from his apartment.
Yeah, he's around me. If I walk a couple of blocks, I can see the stadium. I actually have walked to the stadium. So
Yes, I did.
how could you do that to Mom?
She wasn't old at that time. She was only in her 40s.
Still, it's a blizzard.
You got to do what you
It's
got to do.
Minnesota. I mean,
But yeah, so an hour 14 minutes. That's not too bad of a show for a quick show tonight.
yeah, it's not too bad at all.
Our Friday night show, of course, will be long as usual.
Yeah, those turn into marathons.
That show you can come on. Hey, you may not be a popular person who comes on the show because people think you're a negative Nancy. But you know what? That's that person's truth of how the Vikings are. And you've been a Vikings fan for that long, then you're not always going to have a positive light on the Vikings. So, no, I don't think Jamie's going home. I think it's just going to be a solo trip for me. It's only going to be a couple of days. But unless she wants to go. But all right. Well, like I said, we will be on Friday night. Talk about anything you want. Give us shows. Give us show ideas on Friday night. If you have a show idea for the vintage, we'll look at that as well.
Yep.
But like I said, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for those who stuck with us, even though we got hit.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning all. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting. And I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it, how you gonna move?